This is gonna be a really weird sentence, but if you're like me, you go through a lot of seed crackers. I don't know about you, but I don't got cash to splash on crackers. We all know the ones I'm talking about. We don't have to name names, but they cost like $8 a box.
Love those crackers.
I love those crackers too, but they cost too much money.
I don't mind splashing some cash on those. They're worth it.
Well, you don't need to when I show you how easy it is to make those exact crackers, but 10 times better.
I'm trying to high five you.
All right, for once, I remembered to add the pellets to this unit. I always forget, and then it's too late, and I'm like, I could really go for some smoke flavor here.
Me too. I've done it too many times to name.
Me too. You gotta make sure that you take out the discarded pellets that were in there from your last cook, which I never remember to do after the cook's over.
I do, because I just like blowing them into the wind. It smells wonderful. It's a very easy way to clean. That's what I wish every way to clean could be that easy.
Yes, very good point. For this cook, I'm choosing to use the pizza stone. So if you're thinking like, oh, I have a pizza stone, all I can make is pizza, you're wrong. We're gonna make some crackers on it.
Love it. I hate things that do one thing. What are those called? Unigadgets?
Yes.
Not a fan. If you can find a different way to use something, I'm there for it.
Yes, me too. And I think people stray from making homemade crackers because they think it's complicated, there's too many ingredients, how am I gonna make them? These are so simple to make. They do have a little bit of ingredients.
One hang up that I've always had when I've come to think about, do I want to make crackers at home, is I always wonder, are they going to be crispy?
Yes.
Or are they going to have I don't want a cracker that has a chew to it.
No.
Like a humid type thing. Like, no. It needs to be crispy. It needs to be crunchy. So that's why I've not done them yet.
Like, are you talking when it has like a moist interior and you're like, this is not a cracker?
That's not a cracker.
We all know what crackers we are talking about, the ones you get in the grocery store that have like 500 different seeds in them, and they're very, very expensive. So you can get all those seeds and have them in your pantry and use them for a ton of different things. But once you make these crackers, you're gonna wanna keep making them because A, it makes so many more than you can get in that tiny bag.
And I like that. That's what makes it cheaper. Buy these seeds in bulk. Everybody knows bulk is cheaper. So buy them in bulk and then keep making these. I'm already liking what's going in here. I'm already here for all of this.
Okay, and it's a gluten-free cracker as well.
And it's flavorful, different textures, like flavorful seeds, different textures.
Added some everything bagel seasoning because it's like a one-stop shop to get that everything bagel vibe to it. And that last thing I added is psyllium husk powder. And I've talked about this before, and it's Metamucil. That's what Metamucil is. It's like that's the brand name of it.
Go easy on that ingredient.
All you want to do is stir the dry ingredients together. We're adding in some refined coconut oil, and if you're thinking like, is it going to taste coconutty? Refined makes it so it doesn't taste coconutty at all. And then we're adding in a bunch of water. It looks like a lot of water. Watch.
Weird.
So you're like stirring it up, and I'm like, oh, is this gonna work? And you're like, how is this gonna turn into a cracker?
I'm not feeling like this is gonna end up crispy, gonna end up crunchy. It
Hang
looks
on
like
to
it's
your-
gonna end up like chewy.
Hang on to your pants, people. We're going for a ride. So watch, you're stirring it up. This is where the psyllium husk is gonna do its job. Look at
It's already gelling.
the viscosity, people. 10 minutes later, you got yourself some goo. This is
It's a very flavorful goo.
flavorful cracker goo that doesn't have anything bad in it.
This could go in a sweet direction. You throw in some cranberries in there, some cubed up apricots.
Some cinnamon. Exactly. If you wanted to do a sweet cracker, you absolutely could.
Dried currants, dried blueberry, any kind of dried fruits.
You're kind of going into granola territory.
No, don't start. I don't understand why dried fruits get a bad reputation.
No, I love dried fruits.
Phenomenal. Even a raisin.
They
that's
are
a controversial dried fruit.
No, they are, but you don't want too many to change that too much. This is just the seeds and the seasonings.
I'm not saying add all of those. I'm saying add a few of them for different. I'm not saying add every single one of the fruits I just mentioned.
Okay, so I made these savory because I like to have my crackers with hummus. That's my favorite way to eat them, or like cheese or things like that. The easiest way to do this is to spread it out onto, you'll notice I have a parchment lined on top of a cutting board.
My thought on this was the crackers that we're mimicking here are round. Okay, buddy? Don't say that into your microphone. People can hear. No? Okay. So those crackers are round. Why did you not go with a round cracker? Why are you going out with this is like a spread and cut cracker?
It's not spread and cut. You're getting ahead of the video. I'm smearing it out, okay? I didn't want to go with round, so you'll notice I'm smearing it out. I'm using, if you don't, you have to have parchment on top in order to smear it out in a thin, even layer. Otherwise, it's too sticky. If you were to just do that with your hands, it's too sticky. The parchment helps with the process.
Parchment all the way.
Now I got a rolling pin and I'm making it nice and even. The reason why I didn't want to do rounds is because when you do rounds of anything, you waste. There's the outside and it gets discarded.
Okay, but I wasn't going to say round like that. I was going to say, why couldn't you dollop rounds on, like dollop balls on there?
No.
Yes.
Way too much.
Dollop balls on there, put your parchment down,
Stop saying the words dolloping balls. No, I don't want to do that. I wanted to do it this way. So stop trying to change the crackers, Maddie.
I'm not changing them. I'm just saying I think that would have been cool. No. I'm not saying this doesn't look cool. This looks cool too. But
Madeleine and Louisa, no.
We're not saying first and middle. And
I'm middle naming you.
You want to mean it? You want to play
No.
this game? You want to play this game, buddy?
I'm immediately backing out. Okay, so just get your rolling pin. Continue to roll it out. If these aren't, I can't stress this enough. If they're not in a thin, even layer, they won't cook consistently.
That's when you're gonna get chewy. I don't want chewy crackers.
And you'll get an area of chewy and an area of overdone. So just do your best to try to make this as thin and even as possible. And since we're using the pizza stone, be conscious of the size of the stone. So I'm just eyeballing it and being like, I can't make this too large, otherwise it's not gonna fit on, I'm using the pizza peel. It's not gonna fit on the stone if I make it too large. So I've got the pizza peel here just to help me slide it into the oven. And
you're cooking it still not cut.
That's right.
I'm confused.
Hold your horses.
I'm confused because if it's supposed to turn out crispy and crunchy, I'm not looking for a peanut brittle or bark type experience here. You're not gonna just crust them off. I want them to be uniform.
I am crusting them off.
Are you?
It's rustic.
Okay. I love how rustic means if anything isn't perfectly uniform, call it rustic and it's like, ooh, fancy.
Yeah. So you could take the time and get a pizza cutter and cut these into like rectangles or whatever. I like things that are rustic, and I'm on the school that if you make it homemade, I don't want it to look like the store option.
But if you did want to cut it, because I would cut it, I'm just saying if I were making this, I would cut it. Do you cut before you cook?
I would, but then you're gonna run into, they're not gonna cut properly because you're gonna hit the seeds as you go. Like you're gonna hit those sunflower seeds and.
Yeah, so cut them before you cook.
So just don't cut it.
I would like to, oh, that color.
So if I could describe the smell here, it's like a savory, you know that like toasty granola smell that we all know and love?
Yes.
It's like a toasty, savory granola smell that's got some smokiness to it.
Ooh.
And it has that, you can smell that it's toasted. You can smell when it's ready by pulling it out, giving it that smell. You can smell when it's nice and toasted, and just tap it a little bit and you can see that it's nice and dry.
That's what we're going for here.
It's not gonna be gummy and it's not gonna be gooey.
That looks so crunchy.
Super crunchy, very evenly cooked, not overly brown in certain areas and not brown enough in other areas. Watch, look at, just crack-a-lackin', baby.
Okay, can I suggest one thing? I'm suggesting one thing. To me, not trying to be against you here. This is my little sister, I love her very much, you know that. I'm finding them a bit too thick.
And I'm finding you a bit too big-mouthed.
Could you not have half the recipe, put it on a cookie sheet, and done it thinner?
If you wanted to, yes, you could.
But how did they taste thick? They look crisp.
FYI, thick is not a taste, it's a texture. That doesn't make any sense.
Whatever.
The texture was light, it was crispy, nicely toasted. All those seeds got super toasted. And in the food world, we all know that toasted means extra flavor. So if you toast coconut, nicely toasted pizza on the bottom, toastiness is where all the flavor's hiding. So these crackers are like an absolute flavor explosion.
Could you taste the smoke?
Oh yeah.
Would you go without the smoke next time, or would you go with the smoke?
I think if I was doing a sweet version, I might go without the smoke.
What about a sweet caramelly coconut, like toasted coconut?
I still think the smoke
pecan.
is too...
Yes, it would be like a pecan pot, and then what? Oh, you could dip in like a honey ricotta. I just
that
spit
would
on
be
myself.
Good.